Hello, my friends. This is Dr. G, and I'm here with Chapter 3 of the Food Series. This particular chapter is focusing on protein. Protein seems to be a big thing these days. Everything in the aisle of the so-called supermarkets has a label that says X amount of grams of protein in this and X amount of grams of protein in that. And drink this, you can have all your protein needs met for the day. I'm not angry, I'm a little disturbed because that's all nonsense. The protein that's supposedly found in these non-protein foods have been inserted artificially, they've been processed to death, and they're about as bioavailable as eating a rock. So just be aware of that before we even get into this. I'm also going to say that much of what I'm going to speak about is how I've lived for the past 24 years. So I'm a little biased. If this doesn't attune with you, listen. Maybe you'll find something of value. I suggest that all the time. There's value in anything, even if it's something that seems to be way out of line with what you think about, or the way you think. All right, so anyway, let's get down to protein. What are the high protein sources of food? For me, it's beef, eggs, and raw goat milk. Many times when you open my refrigerator, that's all you'll find. Now, I will be honest, since I finished my 21-day fast, I have felt the need to add other things to my diet. I've been adding some carbohydrates, prepared wisely. But other than that, I'm right where I've been for a long time. In the Real Food chapter, I spoke about what's real food. Well, there's nothing more real than a piece of beef, or an egg, or goat milk, or butter. These things have everything that we need to be able to make the protein useful, bioavailable, because they mix fat, which helps carry the protein into the tissue. You know that every cell is made up of a lipid wall, lipids being fat. And if you've ever tried to mix water with oil, you'll see that they don't mix well. And so when we consume something, it's always good to mix it with a fat because it becomes a carrier. This is another word that they're using to try to sell things. Everything is liposomal this and liposomal that at the health food store. All these isolates of nutrients and whatever, liposomal vitamin C, liposomal this, using the truth that fats help carry things into our tissue. But what is carrying into our tissue and the fats that they're using are worthless and potentially harmful. Just my humble opinion. I would ask you to consider it, think about what I'm saying. Proteins are what our major tissue is made of. I spoke about this in one of the other chapters. That if you want to make this, then you want to consume something that is going to be able to make this. Now, the idea that you eat protein to make protein is a little misleading, because that protein doesn't immediately, the beef, become your muscle. There is a process where the protein is broken down by the body into individual amino acids. Those amino acids are regathered to make this tissue of ours. If you start off with a protein that's insufficient or been denatured by the processing to make it into an isolate, a vitamin that you buy off the shelf or that you eat in some processed food and that comes in a box or a plastic bag or a can, then the end result is going to be denatured also. We wonder why all of these things become unwell. A car requires fuel. If we would take a good quality gasoline and, well, let's just say urinate in it, would that gasoline now be able to operate your vehicle well? I don't think so. The point I'm trying to make is that there are pure proteins, and there are proteins that have been processed, denatured, or inadequate. I was a vegetarian for over 20 years. So I'm not one of these, I hate vegetarians. Most 20-year-olds, maybe even 30-year-olds, do quite well on a vegetarian diet. But it is work. When I came around, we were aware that most of what we ate did not have the full complement of amino acids. And so we were told, if you eat beans, it has XYZ in it. The balance of those amino acids are found in the rice. So you eat rice and beans, then you have a full protein. Pretty close. As easily bioavailable as eating a steak? No. But it's there, and it's work, and you've got to think about it. Am I getting my full complement? Or am I just eating something that's not going to be able to do what proteins do? It's not a protein, it's just a few amino acids, if it's not complete. So I would encourage you, if you are a veggie, that you eat real food to begin with, that you do your diligence, and I highly recommend a book called Laurel's Kitchen. It's not only a great cookbook, but in the back it's got every single food that you could possibly think of, and its nutritional components, the amount of fat and protein and so on in each and every food. And if you're willing to do the diligence, do your homework, you'll be able to create a meal for yourself and your family that's whole. Now, I prefer to just take a piece of meat, and I eat a lot of my meat raw, and make some pate, put some capers in it, a little salt and pepper and olive oil, and I have a wonderful meal. I make believe I'm in a French restaurant having a $100 plate of pate. Oh, how wonderful. Listen, if I have to play games with my head in order to make me satisfied with what I'm doing, then I'll do it. Now, I no longer have to play those games, but if you have to do that, then I would suggest you do it also. So there's beef and there's eggs. Eggs are excellent for you. They're good for your brain. They have choline in them. It's an excellent food source. If you don't denature them by subjecting them to high heat, they're a good sauce. The same thing with the beef, a good sauce. I don't eat much fish, not because I don't believe it's a good source of protein, but it's not a stable source of protein. It's not a very high source of protein. And show me any source of fish food in this world where the water is safe, where it's not been contaminated, when there's not dioxins and mercury and so on in that fish. and especially the ones that are farm raised, like Atlantic salmon. That's just a key word that we made it in a fish farm somewhere, and we're feeding it God knows what. We have to be careful, people. We're being marketed product. We need food. And when it comes to protein, we need the very best protein. I'm getting quiet because I don't want to disturb anybody. I know it's the holiday season, and you go into relatives' house and you're celebrating in your own home, and there's all kinds of things that you traditionally eat that really, if you looked at them closely or were willing to do so, you'd realize that that's not food. It might taste good, it might be very sweet or very salty or whatever addiction that is fills, but it's not real food. So I'm going to give you guys liberty right now. Eat yourself to death until after the first of the year, and then start off 2026 on a new path. Do so, and at the end of 2026, you may find yourself to be a very, very different human being. And wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Just to give you an idea of what I ate yesterday and today, I had 5 lightly poached eggs. So lightly poached that they were almost still liquid, even the whites. I had 8 ounces of beef poached, just like the eggs. And I had some of my wonderful, homemade, dehydrated flaxseed, chia seed, hemp seed, and I won't give you the whole recipe, crackers that I dehydrate here at home under low heat. And they're wonderful. And they fill in a gap here and there. Tonight, I will have something that I've added new since I came off my diet, and I call it my onion salad. And this is cooked. A whole onion, carrots, either small red potatoes or sweet potato, garlic. I cook it down, and I have it as a warm salad. The onion has sulfur in it, which is very, very healing. And the phytonutrients that I get in the rest of the vegetables that are in that are also good. The carbohydrates that I get from the potato are good for the brain. The brain lives off of glucose. And unless you're consuming sugar or honey or any of these direct sugar foods, then the body takes carbohydrates, converts them into glucose, and feeds your brain. So if you're having brain fog, you may not be eating enough carbs. And the carbs that you're eating, you may not be preparing properly. Or they may not be very good carbs to consume. Do your homework. Do your diligence. You're worth it. The amount of time that you spend researching a new pair of sneakers or a flat screen TV or a car that you're going to buy, do your diligence about this vessel that you're living in. How dare you not even know where your spleen is, where your ileocecum valve is placed in your stomach. How dare you not be aware of how you work? That's disrespectful for this vessel that we're living in. I'm not here to beat you up. I want to wake you up if possible. I'll be 76 in 3 months. 24 years ago, they told me I would not live out the year. 2.5 years later, they said it again in writing. I never took their advice. I never let them remove my spleen. I never let them give me drugs or chemo or anything. I told them, no, thank you. I'll keep my spleen. I don't need your pain pills. Thank you very much for your opinion. I don't think I'm going to die. And I left. And I ate food, real food. Beef, eggs, milk. I got still. I meditated. I moved my body softly. And I'm well. And I'm whole. And I am living long, and I will die short. If that's what you want, I'm here to help you. I'm not marketing myself here, but if you're ill, if you've been given some bad news, and you want another opinion, DM me, write me in the comments. I'd love to help you. In the meanwhile, come back for the next chapter. It'll be on food preparation and fermenting and a couple little recipes and suggestions. If you're willing to make a change, if you're willing to redeem the time that you have left and not squander it, then I'm the man for you. And what I have to offer is the information that you need. I wish you all the best. I love you so.